Part D. Evaluate the integral, the definite integral of this whole composite function. This looks very confusing. So we're going to have to think about this. The last question, part C, was pretty easy because we had a derivative and there were rules. Remember, for an integral, there's no rules for this like composite function. We just have to do what we can to do to get this into a simplified version of an integral. And really, you do everything we've always have done. If this is going to be a u substitution, and usually you make u the inside function. So like if you had the square root of x plus 2, you let u be x plus 2. So the inside function here is g of x. So we're going to see what happens there if we let u be g of x. And if you look at the second part of it, well, this looks good. Because the next thing you have to do is du, which equals g prime of x, the derivative of g of x, times dx. So this whole thing's du. G of x is u. So what it comes down to is this. This integral is the integral from -2 to 3 of f prime of u du. Now here's one thing you cannot forget about. These limits are in terms of x. We need them to be in terms of u. So usually you have an option of whether you want to change limits or not. In this question, you do not have the option. So the upper limit was 3, but we have to use our u to change it. So our new upper limit is u equals g of 3, which is 1. Our new lower limit, we get the same way. U is g of, it was -2, now it's g of -2, and g of -2 is -1. So we're going to write this integral now as the integral -1 to 1 of f prime of u du. And now it's time to apply the nice fundamental theorem of calculus. We're integrating this derivative, so the integral undoes the derivative, makes the antiderivative of f prime of u is f of u. And it's, you plug in your limits, f of the upper limit minus f of the lower limit. You didn't have to show this, you can go right to this step. This is f of 1 minus f of -1. So those you can get from the chart. F of 1 is 2. F of -1 is 8. So we have 2 minus 8. And if you want, you can leave it right there. That's your answer, 2 minus 8. I'm pretty confident on this one. I'm going to write -6. But don't on the exam, because what if you forgot the negative? Get it wrong. So both of these answers, this one is the safest. And that was a great question. So if you didn't understand anything, ask or go over it again. But I would say that would be a great question to put on this year's AP exam. As always, thanks for watching.